Okay, as I said, I'm going to go through a quick setup, and then on Thursday we'll take a little more time and go through this. I just want everyone to have an idea of what it is we're going to be doing Thursday and Friday. First of all, you're going to take your post clamp and attach it to the bed rail. I like to put this at about the patient's hip or below, depending on the pannus and the size of the pannus. This is a very large pannus, but the anatomy may be different, so I'm not exactly sure where we're going to put this. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I would say right at the hip or below the hip. So go ahead and put your clamp on. Now you're going to put the clamp on the other side, and it's very important when you put that clamp on the other side that it aligns almost perfectly with the other clamp, because they need to be attached over the table. So they do need to be directly across from one another. It doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to be very close. And the only way I've ever done this is just to eyeball it. So you get down there and you look at it, and you make sure that they're right across from each other the best you can. Go ahead and tighten that as tight as you can get it. So that's step one. Step two, you put your top posts on. Make sure they're properly seated and do not rotate. Step three, we put our riser extender bars on. They go on like this with the top facing the top. Go ahead and slide that over all the way to the end. Okay, so that's step three. Step four, we're going to put our extender on, and the reason we're doing this is because I have this set up for a wider table with extensions. If you don't have the extension set up, you won't need this piece, but we'll go over that Thursday. So I go ahead and put this together just like so. Then I slide it on and lock it into position. Step four, okay? Now step five, we're going to take our center coupler piece. Slide that on to your extension. Now this is why they need to be aligned as best as possible across the table, because we need to connect them. So we slid that on, now we bring it over, and what you'll be doing actually is there'll be somebody over here pulling it over, because you can't be standing behind the table like I am. So go ahead and slide that over. Lock that into position on both sides. Okay, that's step five. Step six, we put our retractors on. We put our retractors on with the spool over the table and not toward the outside. So go ahead and slide that on. Actually, what I would do prior to putting these on is slide your extensions toward the center of the table. And the reason is we don't want people to bump into them that are on the outside, so we slide them over to the center as far as they'll go. Now we put the retractor on with the spool over the center, slide it all the way to the back, lock it into position. Same thing here, spool over the center of the table, slide it on all the way to the back. Take our last ratchet. Now it's important that this spool goes over to the wider side. You can see there's less space here, more space here. So we want our spool to be going over the wider side. And again, I'll be in the OR as we set this up to help you through it, and also we'll do our in-service on Thursday. Go ahead and lock that into position. Now the final step, which I believe is step 7 at this point, would be to put our Ahab bars on. Let's go ahead and lock those or clip those into position. And you can see the center one is lower than the two outside. And then just lower that down and just reach out and grab the pannus. Now the reason the center one's a little bit lower is because we need to get out further to start that initial retraction. And your towel clips here, I mentioned 2 different sizes. I would put the biggest sizes that you have initially on the outside, the smallest size that you have on the inside. Once you grab the pannus, you just simply retract all 3 ratchets, and we're going to lift that pannus for dissection. So that's the setup. Sorry, I'm being hidden here. That's the setup for the roll track retractors used for the paniculectomy. I will see everybody Thursday morning, and we'll go through it again. I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing Thursday and Friday. Thank you very much for your time. I look forward to meeting everybody. Have a nice day.